Okay, so starting off with Ashe. Now, Ashe's Helminth is Shuriken. And the funny thing about Shuriken is that this, like, I remember when I first started playing, this used to be like everyone would say, oh, you got to use this for armor strip because this with the augment, unfortunately I don't have it, but there's a reason I don't have it, allows you to armor strip the enemies you hit with your Shuriken. Now, that would seem like a pretty good thing. It has a low strength requirement and everything. But if I go and take it out here, now while I don't have the augment equipped, just imagine that I was armor stripping these enemies. I'm like, so sure, they have a little bit of, they have punch through, but like, it's so incredibly single target. You know how long it would take me to armor strip all of these enemies at once? Like you throw, I think, what is it? You throw 2 of them out at once. And that is just, when we have things like Terrify in the game, like I can't justify ever telling anybody to use Shuriken, because you know what's better and doesn't require an ability or a subsume slot? Unairu. It's decent against Demolists. Yeah, it's alright against Demolists, but you know what also works there? Tharos Strike. And Tharos Strike will work against way more enemies, and Tharos is also a shield and an armor strip. And that you don't need an augment for. And Tharos heals you. So like, Shuriken, honestly, I gotta give Shuriken D tier. I think Shuriken's D tier. It just, like, it gets outclassed so heavily by everything else. So yeah, Shuriken's not that great. But coming over to our next frame, we have Atlas, and Atlas's subsume is Petrify. Now, Petrify is honestly, in terms of like a crowd control type ability, it's a little bit jank, but you know what? It's not like terrible. And unique to Petrify is its augment, which I don't think I have. It's the, I'll throw it up on screen right now. It's the augment that allows you to, when you like, you know, freeze, you petrify the enemies, you get extra loot chance drop on them or whatever. So this has some niche applications with things like Necros, where you can throw this on Necros, and then you have, you know, the, what is it called? Desecrate paired with this for multiple sources of loot, or Gaze, that is the one. But the 60 degree field of view and the really, really high energy cost at 75, and you know, the base range is all right. I'll give it that. The base range is all right, but it's really expensive and it needs the augment to be even remotely useful. And with the augment, like being able to stack that on other loot frames like Cora or specifically Necros, not bad. But in terms of a crowd control ability, skipping off the augment, C tier. Like, and that's purely because of the augment. It might be low B tier, but I'm thinking really high C tier. Should remove field of view. I agree. The field of view is just annoying. It should be much wider, at least 90 degrees. But Petrify gets a C tier, rather unfortunately for our boy Atlas. Okay, next up we have Banshee. Now, Banshee herself is not that great. Silence is really, really good. Like Silence, giving the stun effect. When you do this to enemies, they get stunned, and I have Gloom on my Banshee so that like you can extend that like insane. And these enemies just they're not doing anything. Like, and you know, for Eximus units, it completely turns off their abilities, like just completely turns them off, and that's quite good. So Silence is already a really great ability, but then when you bring in the fact that there is the Savage Silence augment. Now, I don't really know about this augment in terms of normal gameplay, but where this augment really shines is something that it doesn't even tell you, is the fact that this augment allows you to keep your stealth multiplier when getting kills on enemies that have already seen you. And what is that useful for? That is so useful for frame leveling. I should make a video on it. You can max rank a frame with an affinity booster in 2 minutes using a Brahma, Savage Silence, and Silence on literally anyone. I have it on like half of my characters because it just, when I'm, you know, dumping Forma into them for a video or something, it's so useful. But besides that, it's a solid ability, man. It makes acolytes not a worry at all, especially violence, because your silence will silence him before he can do it to you. So silence is just really solid. It's just really solid, and it gets it an A tier in my opinion. I don't know why I clicked on upgrade. Moving on to our next, we have Baruuk. Okay, so Baruuk gives a lull. Now, the funny thing is that on Baruuk himself, you don't use this ability for anything but to just dumpster his restraint, which is why on a lot of Baruuk builds, you build a negative duration at 68% or 13%. And you know what? At least to me, it honestly makes sense. This is crowd control, and you know, it has the weird effect of short-term amnesia, makes all waking enemies forget anything that happened before the lull. But like, I don't know, man. We're talking purely Helminth here. So in terms of subsuming this onto other frames, I just, I can't. I'll be real. I've never tried subsuming this onto other frames. I mean, if I just go onto something I don't have any builds on and went range, like what does a decent range build get it? That's the wrong ability. Okay, that's nothing to laugh at. I will be for real. 66 meters of crowd control. That's quite good. You know what? That 66 meters that's quite good. In terms of compared to other crowd control options, honestly, I honestly don't know. I don't have any experience with using this one, but why do Lull when Terrify? That is a good argument. That is a pretty solid argument. And I know that that's comparing it to Terrify, which is one of the best Helminths in the game, but that's quite solid. I still think that Lull is actually not too bad, but it only gives crowd control and it doesn't do much else. So I'm gonna put it really, really high B tier because it doesn't group like other crowd control / grouping abilities, because grouping is crowd control. Really high B tier. It might be A, but I'm just gonna stick it to B tier now. Caliban subsume is Sentient Wrath, and then this is an interesting one because it gives damage vulnerability. Now, the problem with something like damage vulnerability is that Rest and Rage is a far better application of damage vulnerability, and this has a max targets. Why? In a horde shooter like Warframe, abilities should be able to affect everyone they touch. Max targets, especially on a newer frame like Caliban, makes no sense. It lifts enemies, not that it matters that much. Yes, it does lift them, but I honestly think that this might be D tier. Again, the ratings might differ a little bit from what I'm saying here, because when I look at it, like all the abilities as a whole on the tier list, I might change some stuff. Max target is actually 16. 16 is nothing in a horde shooter. Worse Rhino Stomp? Far worse Rhino Stomp. And the damage vulnerability is just bleh. I know this is the rank 1 version, but still. Not good. We have Chroma here. And Elemental Ward, Jesus. You can't even see the entire ability. Like, you can't even see the name. Elemental Ward, you still can't see the name. Wow. How is that even a thing? You'd think they would change this. Elemental Ward has some actually quite strong niche uses. It's not a subsume I immediately gun to for most everything, but Elemental Ward is S tier just for fashion. I actually think this one is quite good on the builds that it fits in for. It's cool, and the fact that there are 4 different things that you can do with this ability are quite nice. And like I said, the ones that it fits into, it's actually quite strong on. Hold for the armor is just nuts. Electricity on certain on Hildryn is great. So I'm gonna give it like mid B tier. It's honestly sucks because Chroma himself just needs such a tune-up. But I'm gonna give Elemental Ward a mid B tier. There are some cool things you can do with this ability. Like there are some cool things you can do. It's just not like my first, okay, what do I want to put on this frame? Oh, I should go look at, is there anything unique Elemental Ward does for them? So B tier it is. Quite a pretty simple, easy one. Next we have Citrine, one of the newer Warframes. And Citrine has Fractured Blast. Now, I think, at least for Citrine herself, this ability is really good. You know, you need to be using her with Equilibrium. And with Equilibrium, this ability is practically infinite energy, obviously allowing you to run 45% efficiency on her very, very easily. On other frames, this is both a status and energy generation tool. The problem with that is that being only energy and then impact or slash is As I'm sure you're all aware of, there are a lot of abilities, well, not a lot. There's one ability in particular that gives you both energy and viral damage and viral procs. And while that does power creep a lot of things in the game, lesser Ashe 1, this does way more than Ashe's 1. You're using this for the energy generation. It's just super spammy, so C. Yeah, you do need to like use this quite often, and the main use for it is probably on like Prismatic Gem. You hit a bunch of enemies with this, and then you can, like as Hunt exists too. Yeah. Hit a bunch of enemies with this so that your Prismatic Gem will aim at them. I give it a very low B tier. It's fine. Like it's fine. It's just mid. It might be C tier. I think it's C tier actually. High C tier. I wish it was better because it honestly is. It's just annoying to use. You know, it covers quite a big like area. Like that's a lot of enemies to now be taking a lot of damage. So, but again, as you said, it's the whole, you have to use it quite a lot. Citrine is just very underrated. For Citrine herself, fantastic. In terms of Helminth, it's C tier. Okay, next we have Ember, and now Ember gives Fire Blast, but it's not the Fire Blast that she has, and it is, so I don't understand this one. Okay, so when you subsume Fire Blast onto another frame at 100% strength, you get a 75% armor strip, and that's it. Going higher will not change it, but going lower will change it. Okay, like there are some, the armor strip on Ember herself and the fact that it does heat damage, pairing this with Archon Vitality and Heat Inherit it's actually quite good. But as an armor strip, I would literally never recommend this to anybody, because the fact that it's capped out at 75% like makes no sense to me. It just makes no sense. I forgot I had to practice. Regardless, I don't think I have it set up correctly. I had a pretty interesting nuke build with that ability, but man, it's the freaking 75% that just kills it. Like, why can't it just scale this up to 200% strength, have it start at 50, and then it requires line of sight, so that's already difficult relative to other options like Pillage or Terrify. And even Thorough Strike is just like that one heals and shield strips. It's just it's not that great. I have to give it like low C tier. There are better armor strips, yeah. In terms of F tier, there's gonna be like one thing in F tier. In terms of D tier, I threw Evil. I threw Ashe's Shuriken in D tier, I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna have to go back and do all this in post. But and this is far better than Ashe's Shuriken. This is far better. Like there's no competition there. But in terms of everything else, I'm putting it just very low C tier. Yeah, too expensive. 75 energy is crazy, dude. For not even a full strip. Even the augment doesn't help it. It does not, rather, unfortunately. Okay, next we have my girl. We got Equinox. Now, Equinox gives rest and rage. You know what? I feel like this one is quite underrated. So this has two forms. Now you're only going to be able to use one of them as a subsume, but both of them are actually they're quite good. The day form adds damage vulnerability onto enemies. This is just another additional multiplier that you get. And you know what? Who can say no to that? There are other forms of applying damage multipliers, but this one is quite easy. And especially with the augment, where is it? Common Frenzy. Killing an enemy will spread it to everyone else in range. And I know this is 280, but 14 meters, like at 100% of the duration that it was. And with a decent duration build, you know, that's 45 seconds. So I honestly, and then the night version puts enemies to sleep. So I'm in day form right now, but if I just get some enemies out here, so I just debuffed all of these enemies and now they take more damage. And that's like, and now if I kill any of those enemies and other enemies come into the radius 14 meters, they will get that debuff. I honestly feel like Rest and Rage is so what's the word I'm looking for? Also allows stealth kills. Yep, yeah, that's another big part. And then on night form, do that, boom. Now they're all asleep. And like you said, stealth kills. Who doesn't like stealth kills? Underrated, yes, underrated. That is the word I'm looking for. I feel like it's so underrated. I honestly have to try and put some more builds using Rest and Rage in, because it's quite good. If you could get the being able to run both sleep and, honestly, a good buff for it, in my opinion, would be making it tap and hold. Tap for damage, hold for sleep. That'd make it so good. I give Rest and Rage. I give Rest and Rage an A. It has two different forms, and while you can only use one per mission, it's quite good. And the fact that the speed increase is fine. I honestly don't think it's that big of a deal. And it has it's really cheap. It's really cheap. 25 energy, so that's an easy A tier. Don't know why I'm clicking on upgrade. Okay, who do we have next? We have Excalibur. Excalibur gives Radial Blind, correct? Or diminished results and is both yeah. So Radial Blind, this is what he gives, correct? It's meh. I honestly can't say that I would ever recommend anybody subsume this. So sure, you get the ability to do the stealth kills on everyone, and it has quite a wide radius and lasts for a long amount of time. 50 energy is okay. You could use it for shield gating or something, but that, in terms of just relative to like other abilities, this, I just can't really see myself ever saying like, oh, you should use this over a lot of other crowd control or grouping tools. Yeah, this is a C tier. It's all right, but I've literally never subsumed this. I've never subsumed an Excalibur in general, I don't think. Mainly because, what am I going to use this for? Like, what am I going to use this for? C tier. Okay, so up next is Frost. Now, Frost gives, what does Frost give? Is it his 1 or his 2? I forget. I know it's not good regardless. Avalanche 2? Okay. All right. I thought it was his 2. Can someone remind me what the augment for this one does? It's very mad. Oh, I know this is very mad because this is not good on him either. Frost is quite literally only Avalanche right now and sometimes Snow Globe. But seldom will you see people legitimately use Snow Globe for anything else. Augment leaves a path that slows. Okay, so it's not that great. Okay, I mean, does this proc cold on enemies? You know what? 6 stacks of cold is, that's not terrible. I don't know if I would ever recommend this just for that, but that's better than I thought it was. Regardless though, this is still just not good. Frost is lucky that Avalanche is really good now. And Ice Wave, I'd honestly have to give it like, I'm debating D tier. I think this might be D tier. Like the cold buff is nice. Feel other things are better. 100% other things are better. Far better. I'm gonna give this one high D tier. I don't know whether or not this is better than Ash's Shuriken, but damn dude, this is just really not it. I don't know why you'd ever subsume this onto anybody. Next up is Gara. Okay, so where's my base Gara? So Gara gives Spectrorage, and now Spectrorage is a crowd control ability, and it is also an insane energy generation ability through Spectral Siphon. Enemies having a 50% chance to drop energy is quite good. Now, if Nourish wasn't as good as it currently is, Spectral Siphon would see more usage because it's great for crowd control and it's great for energy generation. And if you pair that up with a frame that has an innate grouping ability, you throw down one of these mirrors and then you just group everything inside the mirror and you can just spam. And you know, that's quite good. So with the augment, this is with the augment. So do understand you're giving up a mod slot to really make this ability shine, but doing so allows you to run 45% efficiency if you have a high energy cap, because it is quite expensive. But you know, you have a lot of energy, you can spam this, and once you get it going, it's quite good. It's A tier. And I'm saying A tier as if Nourish doesn't exist, because Nourish just invalidates it. I have it over her third for a reason. It's because it's just better. But yeah, easy A tier. Easy A tier. That one's quite good. I should probably get it subsumed sometime soon. I just don't have a Gara. Okay, next up is Garuda. Ugly ass fashion. Here we go. This one is much better. Garuda gives Blood Altar, and nah, I'm gonna be real with y'all. This one is not, it's not that great. Like, it's just such a nothing ability for so many frames. It's not even that good on Garuda herself, but it's good on Korra. What is Blood Altar good for on Korra? It can heal defense objectives. That's so niche. Who plays defense? Gyre, please. I'm doing all the frames alphabetically. I replace Blood Altar with Gloom. Yeah. This is her Helminth slot. If it wasn't, this is my ESO build, and Samaris won't silence your first ability, so that's why that's there. You're replacing that ability every single time, mainly because, well, you know, we're talking about Helminth here. I just can't see a reason that you'd ever want to use this, because there are, like, you have Magus Elevate, which is just 300 health on transference into your Warframe. There are so many other ways to gain health. Right now, Equilibrium is super meta. So health orbs are great. Any healing ability is just bad. Everyone has an, yeah, if there's an ability that is mainly focused on healing you, Mag can have a better magnetize with Blood Altar. That's true, but I wouldn't, there are much better mag subsumes. Blood Altar, I think it gets a D tier. I don't know. I mean, maybe you guys can change my mind on that, but it just doesn't, like, what do you subsume this ability to do? I really can't think of anything. And what do you subsume it to do that's genuinely useful? I think that's a D tier, which is unfortunate because coming from Garuda, it's like she's like a close to S tier frame. Inaros, that's it. Yeah, if it has anything to do with Inaros, it fucking sucks. Okay, next we have Gauss. Y'all know what Gauss gives. Gauss gives Thermal Sunder, and while it's not the armor stripping nuke ability that it is on Gauss, it is so good still. Holy hell. Like, Thermal Sunder is the damage Helminth. Like when you want to deal damage, you're subsuming this one. It is just quite good. I'm gonna skip this track because I don't know what that is. This is crowd control. It's damage, especially paired up with an armor strip. I always think over to my Necros Terrify build, not this one. I, for some reason, dropped all the mods off of it. This is a goated combination. You can nuke really, really easily if you have an Epitaph with Heat Inherit and then you throw Archon Vitality on the frame. It is not good on higher levels. I don't know. S tier gives cold. Yep, you know what? That's another thing for its favor. You can also proc cold with it, which is a crit damage buff. But in Steel Path, it falls off on other frames. So that's where you bring in external buffs like Heat Inherit and Armor Stripping. And I think what is he doing? I think Thermal Sunder is S tier. Fantastic for leveling in ESO. Fantastic for farming relics with Titania. And it's a really good nuke ability in Steel Path. And the augment, yeah, I think Thermal Sunder gets an S tier. That's easy. Moving on. All right, so Nourish is S. Nourish is S. It's like the most. Nourish is the easiest S. I made an entire video today that everyone lost their shit on me for about why this ability is so good and why I think it needs to get nerfed. Nourish is just easy S tier. Okay, I'll talk about this one a little bit. What I need people to understand when I say that Nourish is the best Helminth and it needs a nerf is that it solves every Warframe's energy economy and gives viral damage and gives viral procs. The viral damage, massive damage bonus. The viral procs buff everything. Like Warframe abilities will do more damage with viral procs. Guns do more damage with viral procs. Nourish is just the de facto. You like, someone asked me how many frames do I have Nourish on? I have Nourish on Atlas, Baruuk, Gara, Garuda, Kalervo, Korra, Mesa, Necros, Protea, Revenant, Saren, Valkyr, Wisp, Zaku, and yeah. And it is so good on all of them. Is Gyre good with Nourish? No, she needs an armor strip. It's so good on all of them. Now, this is talking purely about Helminth. For Grendel himself, Nourish is even better because it gets 10 viral procs instead of 1, and it should stay the same on him. But god damn, as a Helminth, this is just the easiest S. It is so good. It's too good. It's too good. I think it needs to be nerfed. I really do think it needs to be nerfed. I don't use Nourish out of boredom. Good for you. Doesn't change that it's just broken. Easy S. Now we come to Gyre. I personally really don't like Coil Horizon, and I'll show why I don't like Coil Horizon. It's because, okay, other than it ragdolls all the enemies and you do stuff like this, I'm not the biggest fan of Coil Horizon because it just doesn't hold the enemies for long enough. I really think that if it just held them and grouped them together for, like, if it's scaled off of duration, it would be nice. And also, can we stop with the physics-based BS? It's so annoying. I think it's so annoying. Like, the fact that if I want to get it over there and I do that, she just throws it forward. Like, the fact that it's not, it would be nice if it worked like Vauban, where, like, you know, he actually, like, can overhand them. And I hate the physics-based stuff. It's honestly quite annoying. It's very good IMO. It's a budget Zephyr. That's the thing. It's a budget Zephyr. The only saving grace this ability has is for use with what is the Archon? Wait, what the hell? Oh, I already have it on. Archon Stretch. And that's only if you're not using like Xeneric or anything else or any other energy boosting abilities. 10 energy every 5 seconds, and that's nothing. Like 10 energy every 5 seconds is nothing. So it's all right. I don't see why you'd not want to use it over The benefit of Ragdoll is electric procs jump to each limb. You know what? That's true. There are some odd scaling stuff with like that right there. I personally think it's just B tier. It's fine. Like maybe high C. I'm gonna give it a very low B though. I wouldn't want to use this over any other grouping ability. I really just wouldn't. It has too many downsides to make it worth using. Okay, Harrow. Harrow gives... I'm going in alphabetical order. I will get to Gloom when I get to it. Harrow gives Condemn. And for some reason, there are so many people who like this ability. I don't get it. Like, I really don't get it. Okay, and maybe someone in chat explain to me why you would use Condemn when Pillage exists. Pillage armor and shield strips and gives shields. Like, why? Like, this ability, CC and shields? Yeah, I mean, the crowd control aspect of it, though, is just like, decent CC and shield gate. Well, Pillage gives a shield gate, and it also it has defense reductions. CC is not great. Yeah, I don't think the CC is that great. 20-meter base range. Yeah, but it's in terms of the way that it goes out. It's a mix of like Ensnare and shields. I don't think it's terrible, but faster, you can cancel Pillage. You can cancel it. You don't need to wait however the duration is. Pillage is boring. Well, this is an objectively, how good are they? Headshots. Condemn is enemy stop shooting at us. I mean, if you... Okay, so then why do you worry about enemies shooting at you if you're using it for shield gating? Because shield gating survivability comes from enemies shooting at you. Better on Harrow himself. I think it's great on Harrow himself. Honestly, wouldn't be surprised if he's changed it for Pillage though. I think it's a C tier, and that's purely because Pillage just ruins it. In terms of headshots, I mean, I guess if you really need this to hit headshots consistently though, there might be like another issue with your gameplay. Condemn doesn't strip, and that's exactly the problem with it. It's just C tier. Okay, and talking about Pillage, next up we have Hildryn, who gives Pillage. Now, it's the only possible downside this ability had was that you'd need to get a second Hildryn from Fortuna. Hildryn Prime is a thing now, and you can get her the base form of her from Circuit, so you don't need to do like the Fortuna rep grind or whatever it is to get her. Pillage is just so good. S tier, no debate. I think it's S tier. How much strength do you need for full strip? 400%, but that can be cut down to 328 with multi-augmented. Corrosive projection. You don't even need the full strip on Pillage for it to be good. You get armor and shield strips. You get a status cleanse. Can you get Zaku from Circuit? No. You get the armor and shield strips. You get a status cleanse, and you also get overshields. And Pillage costs on other frames. Come on, stop being slow. 50 energy. So you can use this to, when you initially cast it, get a shield gate, and then when the shields again break, get a second one. It's white good. Just double cast if not fully stripping. Yeah. And what's another great thing about Pillage is that it's the amount of area it covers scales off duration. So on a frame like Mesa, you can completely dump range because she doesn't need it, and just Pillage is an easy S tier. Blazing Pillage with the augment on Hildryn opens up her up to an interesting nuke. I think it's an easy S tier. Number one downside is Pillage's line of sight. What's great about Pillage's line of sight is that, you know, it is annoying that you need to see the enemies, but even if the wave has passed them and then you see them, it will then strip them. Like, you know, they're not stripped right now because I haven't seen them, but then if I jump up, I was a little late there. The wave is past them, but now if I jump up, they will get stripped. So all you need to do is just see them once while it's active. It does go through walls, you just need to see that person. Pillage is easy, yes. Pillage is just It's crazy. So it's funny we're making this tier list now because the potential for Hydroid and especially Tempest Barrage, if they bring back the armor strip, to be quite good is high. And because Pablo made Grendel and Nourish specifically into one of the best frames in the game, he has 2 armor strips and Nourish, which is arguably one of, if not the best ability. I have high hopes for the Grendel rework, and Tempest Barrage itself could be kind of nasty. Like it could be kind of nasty. But right now, this ability fucking sucks. Does Pillage work on Acolytes and Demolists? Yes, it does. Dude, oh my god. So, this has the augment. And this procs corrosive on your enemies. Remember, corrosive caps out at 80%. So this doesn't really, it's an armor strip. And it's honestly, when I made my Hydroid video, it was the saving grace for him. Because it is a damage buff. Like, this is a damage buff. But the problem is, it does this. Like, how are you supposed to shoot these enemies if they're just getting launched everywhere? You cannot play Hydroid and use Corrosive Barrage if you're not using an AoE weapon. Like, you need to add an AoE weapon, and then if the armor strip was 100%, it'd be really good. It'd be quite good. But right now, dude, combine it with Korra's whip. Korra doesn't need an armor strip. I have high hopes for this. It could be really good. Change how it launches enemies around and give it a full strip and it'd actually be solid. But right now, fucking D tier, bro. The reason it's not F tier is because it doesn't do nothing. The armor strip is a damage buff, and it, with an AoE weapon, you will be killing enemies easier, unlike the one ability that will go on to F tier. But yeah, D tier, and the lowest possible D tier. Isn't it common sense that abilities that launch enemies are a bad idea? Look at Tentacle Swarm. This is the trolliest ability in the game because it fucking does that. Look at the ability video. It does that. How are we supposed to shoot those motherfuckers? How are we supposed to shoot them? Terrible, terrible. Zero plat is crazy. Feel free to give me some. Okay, so next we have Inaros. What does Inaros give again? I don't remember. Is it Devour? I think it's his one. Desiccation. Okay, so he has, I'm gonna put some dirt in your eye as his Helminth.
I'm gonna put some dirt in your eye.
Pocket sand? Yes. Yeah. He has, I'm gonna put some dirt in your eye as his Helminth. Holy shit. What can even be said about this? I mean, it's D tier. Oh, this ability fucking sucks, dude. There's absolutely no denying that. Like, okay, so sure, they're not shooting at me right now, but like, come on, dude. Desiccation, that 8 true damage percent. This is the easiest D tier. I didn't even know which one he had. Like, oh my god. And the lifesteal, like for Inaros, I guess, but like, what the hell? This ability is so fucking worthless. It's so worthless. Boy needs to rework. Inaros is much better than Hydroid because at least he doesn't die like a bitch on Steel Path because he is just a bag of health. But like, oh my god. D tier. D for desiccation. Moving on, we have Ivara. I haven't played Ivara in forever. Now, so Ivara gives Quiver, but she doesn't give the full Quiver. I don't remember which 2 she gives. Which are the 2 ones that she gives? X arrow, def not the invis. It's okay. Wait, no, she gives the no sleep arrow. Haven't seen a soul that uses it. Okay, is it just it's the cloak? That's the only one. Okay. Man, this is also a really bad one. Invis, yeah. This is also just a really bad one, dude. Very niche, so niche. And you know why it's so niche? Because while it is invisibility that you can like shoot with weapons, you can shoot your guns while you're invisible with this one, right? No, you can't. You can use silenced weapons. Okay, so your weapons need to be silenced. Regardless, you can shoot your sentinel from movable bubble. That's the thing. But for a lot, you can just run the Hurus crew bro with stock and not decloak when you use ability spam. I know that's more niche, but like, man, I gotta just give this one C tier. Honestly, nah, I have to give it D tier. It's D tier. It does have a few niche uses. Yeah. Noise arrow. Tell me the last time you shot a noise arrow. It's just so niche, do you see? I'm giving it D tier because I actually would rather have corroding barrage from Hydroid. At least that will give me a damage buff, and if I use it with an AoE weapon, that'd be better. This is just doing nothing for me. One use I can think of is Endo Farm. Noise arrow slander. Tell me the last time you shot a noise arrow. I'm giving it D tier. I'm sorry, chat. That's a D tier for me. Okay, next up we have one of the best, if not the best, grouping ability in the entire game with Ensnare. Ensnare goes through walls. And here's the most important thing. It is a grouping ability that is not gimped in the Helminth. Think about it. Zephyr, Airburst, gimped on range. Gyre, whatever that ability is called, gimped on range. Larva, the range is reduced when you subsume it, but it's not for Ensnare. Ensnare goes through walls. It has an insane base range of 30 meters. If you need to group things up, use Ensnare. Enemies don't do anything to you. It's really easy to shoot them in the head, and you could have multiple of them active at one time. F tier for her grind, just get her from circuit. Get her from circuit. Gyre's isn't altered. Okay, so Gyre's isn't altered, but Ensnare is still way better. For crowd control and grouping, because this doesn't have, and it works, yeah, and there we go. It works on acolytes and demolists. Like, it does not get better. For grouping purposes, Ensnare, SSS tier. Number one to melt or kill acolytes fast. AoE weapons, because they have different scaling than hits against stuff. It works on demolists. So demolists will nullify it with their nullifying pulse, but Ensnare is so good. Oh wait. Yeah, I said the wrong one. Okay, regardless, that was a blunder by me. It doesn't have a 30 meter range. That's the casting range. It only has a 10, and at 220 that gets for every 10% range you get another meter. But the strength here last is that you can just cast it again, and because you can have multiple up, and it goes through walls, and it'll pull everyone in super tightly, and it works on everything regardless. We win Magus Anomaly. Yeah, but you have to use Magus Anomaly while you're not shooting enemies. Like, S tier, easy S. And next we have Caliban, the newest Warframe with Wrathful Advance. I don't know, y'all. This is also really good. Like, this is either an A or an S tier, and I'm leaning towards S because think about it. It's a teleport, okay? Like, the first ever instantaneous teleport that we have ever had. The first one. And it's also, hey, do you like red crits for your melees? Okay, here have only red crits. Like, I know that I don't have enough strength to guarantee reds right there, but regardless, this one is so good, and it works for pseudo exalts. It works for exalts, even with diminished strike, doesn't matter. Yeah, because you get over 100% crit chance on a lot of good melees with Blood Rush. This might be S. It's a great speedrun ability because the instant teleport. and it like giving melees permanent red crits. That's really good. Like that's really good. That S tier. It's S for melees. Yeah, and Baruuk. Yeah, nah. This one's nuts, y'all. S tier, S tier. Okay, Lavos. Lavos gives Vile Rush. Not great. Really not that great. Mid. S for skating. I think this is a C tier. Just starting it right off, C tier. It's cool, but meh. Well, even on Lavos himself, this ability struggles a little bit. On frames that don't have all this elemental shit, like, what are you using this for? I mean, okay, so let's think about it. You're just on enemies at base, you get cold procs. Cold procs are quite good right now. They're quite good. But just the way that you have to apply it, and the fact that Epitaph exists with forced cold procs, I don't know, man. Honestly, with the cold buff, I'm feeling C tier. Otherwise, I would have done D tier, but I'm giving it C. The cold is actually quite literally the biggest thing this ability has going for it because of the buff. But if the cold buff wasn't a thing, this would be honestly one of the worst in the game. No reason to use Vile Rush. That is 100%. So, Limbo gives Banish. I mean, Shadow Wizard Money Gang member, easy S tier. Felt. Easy D. T tier for trolling. Ooh. In all honesty, I'm feeling it. I think it's a D tier. I can't. I just don't understand why you would ever fucking subsume this. The only time I have ever used this was for Garuda because her claws can hit through the rift, and that build was still a fucking struggle. Like, you had to really sweat to stay alive. You can banish yourself in Garuda's claws and banish Loki's decoy. Okay, let's not act like that is just super meta. I think that this is I think it's a D tier. There are some uses for it, but all of those uses just kind of suck, and you could play, like, does it have an augment? I wouldn't know. Does it have an augment, chat? If it does, I'll show it on screen right now. Well, what does the augment do? Oh, the editing for this video is going to be great. I have to watch an hour and a half of footage. It has the augment? Okay, never mind. All right. Yeah, D tier. Gotta do a limbo vid still. I wouldn't even know what to do. Maybe like a aqua blades. D tier. Not great. All right, and now we come to the only Warframe who has an F tier ability. Decoy. This does nothing. If I need help, consult you. What does that mean? This is F tier. And as Pyramid is saying in chat right now, there's no reason to talk about this because it does nothing. This video right here, the gameplay video right there, is a lie. It's a lie. This does nothing. Moving on. Oh, okay, you meant that. Its augment saves your life. Oh my god. We're not making an argument for decoy being good. We're literally not making that argument. No. It sucks. Ignore the ugly ass mag fashion. There we go. Okay, moving over to mag. If I can show it over here. Come on. I don't have a mag without pole subsumed off. Okay. Regardless, I will I'll show it on screen right now. Mag gives pole And pull is a good group. You know what? No, I know where I have pull. It's because I needed to do it for a video and I threw it on Gauss. Okay. Pull is quite good. In the Helminth, it does have its range diminished, but since the rework where now with pull, you it doesn't like just fling them past you. It actually groups them up. It is a really, really fast group that brings enemies super tight together and is really good for melee. I'd say it's probably the either this or Airburst is the best melee grouping ability. For a couple reasons. It's really quick, it's really tight. The only problem is the range or the angle at which you cast it. It's not everywhere around you relative to something like Airburst, but I still think it's very good on Protea. No, it's not good for Protea because one, the enemies don't die quick enough most times, and also it just launches them everywhere the second that they're that the pull runs out. Doesn't last long enough. You still want to stick with Larva or Ensnare for Protea. Regardless, I think this is a solid A tier. And especially Greedy Pull, honestly, Greedy Pull makes it pretty worth using because Greedy Pull on not Zephyr. Greedy Pull on Zaku. Yeah, here we go. For a looting build, this is a shit one because polarities and stuff are different. Yeah, this is honestly like the best farming build when you're going out to Fortuna to get resources and stuff. Easy A tier. It's just good. It's quite solid. It would have been like C tier before the change, but since the change, it's quite good. All right, moving back over to, we have Mesa. So Mesa gives Shooting Gallery. And as I'm sure all of you guys know, I cannot find a good song that I like. From Russia to Japan. Huh. Okay, it's not making any noise. Regardless, Shooting Gallery is really good. It's one of my favorite Helminth abilities, and I think it is so underrated because Shooting Gallery with Muzzle Flash is, in my opinion, the best crowd control the game has to offer. If you have not seen my video on Shooting Gallery or any video of me utilizing this mod, well, this ability and Muzzle Flash, go watch it because it's very strong. Like, quite literally, I think it's the best crowd control in the game. And that's just Shooting Gallery itself. Corroding Barrage better? Yeah, shit, you right, man. Hydroid on top. It is... Thought it was Mesa's one. I'm very, very tempted to give it an S tier. Because honestly, if I look at a lot of the other crowd control stuff, and Snare is very good as well, but it works on Eximus units. It just does this damage before. No, it is just base additive damage, but oh, it's quite good. Yeah, thank you for stopping by. Zada, Pillage, and Nourish for Mesa. All of them are quite good. I have a recent video using this exact build right here. You've put worse in A tier IMO. Yeah, I think Shooting Gallery gets an S tier, and I wouldn't be adhering to me saying this is one of the best Helminth abilities if I didn't put it in S tier. So this is S tier. It's just really solid. Okay, so next up, I don't like this one either. Dreams. All right, we have Mirage. Wow, what is this ugly ass fashion? What the fuck? Eclipse. So Eclipse does get diminished in the Helminth, and that kind of sucks. But it doesn't change that Eclipse is really good. Yeah, y'all saying S tier? I think Eclipse might be S tier as well. I personally don't use this anywhere. I'm not a fan, but I cannot deny that it is really good. Now, we're mainly talking about the damage increase here and not the damage reduction. I actually don't know if I can put this in S, because it's, yeah, like you said, it's so gimmicky. Yeah, honestly, I'm gonna be real with y'all. The inconsistency puts this down to top of A tier. It's so inconsistent. You need to mess with your settings. I think they might have changed that, but regardless, it's A plus. Yeah, it is about as A plus as you get. Roar is S. I'd say Roar is S. It's A tier. It'd be S tier if there was no gimmick. Honestly, if it was actually a tap or hold for either one, it'd be ridiculously better. But like, even for DOS, man, is it awful to keep? I don't know, man. I think Roar might be better. I'm gonna have to say this one goes in A. It's really good, but the inconsistency murders it. Necros gives Terrify. This is the easiest S. This is okay. So this doesn't work on acolytes. It doesn't work on demos, but it is ridiculously high range. It gives crowd control, and while it's crowd control that may be quite annoying because it makes enemies run away from you, it has an augment that slows them down by 80%, which is very good, and it armor strips so easily. 167 strength for a full strip. Remove the enemy cap on this, which you honestly don't run into that much. I've never like stripped and then been like, oh my god, I look at that enemy, they didn't get stripped because I have an enemy cap. I don't think anything in Warframe should have an enemy cap, but it does. But here, it scales with strength quite nicely. S tier. If you're using an ability that needs, like if you're trying to nuke with it, the only non-line of sight armor strip, amazing. Yeah. If you're trying to nuke with an ability, you want Terrify on your frame. Reason why it doesn't work on them. Well, it's because it does like, to be able to armor strip an enemy, the enemy needs to be able to get terrified. And it's weird because it works on Exodus units through their overguard, but they don't get terrified. So it's inconsistent, but Is Zaku line of sight? No, but that's not a Helminth ability. Who do we got next? Nezha. What? Nezha gives blazing. No, they give his first, right? Firewalker. I'm not the biggest fan of this ability. There are a lot of people who like it. I think that it's all right. Is Lavos a good frame? Friend said they were broken. Lavos is not that great. Has potential. Needs some high quality life. I'm just gonna go outright and say that I don't have a ton of experience with this ability, and the experience that I do is C tier. I just can't see a reason that you'd want to use this. The meme build is pretty fun, but it's just kind of all right. What do you mean Lavos is easy A? Yeah, with the catalyze and the augment, D tier unnecessary. This status cleanse, right? If it gets subsumed off in the original frame, then it's probably ass. That is a good principle to go by, and the same holds true here. Low C tier. It's status immunity. Okay, the speed is fun, and the status immunity is nice, and the damage, while non-existent, is all right. Heat procs do armor strip, but like, yeah, C tier. I'm debating whether or not it might be D tier. I'm indecisive on this. I'll have to YouTube viewers, whatever I'm showing up on screen right now is what I ended up deciding on. I'm indecisive. Okay, next up we got Nidus. For those of you who were here last stream, you'll understand why this looks like this. Wow, this looks disgusting. AI laughter? That's fucking mean. Okay, so Larva gets a third of its range removed when you subsume it, which sucks. It does suck. Pepto. But it's quite good. It's really good for Protea. Larva's good. It's A tier. It's not as good as Ensnare, and I think it's not as good as Airburst, which will be the last one we talk about, but it's just good. Groups enemies really tightly, and Yeah, it's solid. You can't have more than one up, which is unfortunate. What's my MR? 23. But it's A tier. Now, if everyone can just revel in this Nidus fashion, absolutely gorgeous. The one you use for endo farming, that is another good benefit for it. Neutron Star is awesome. Okay, you know what? That's true. I still think that this is all right. B tier, man. It's fine with the augment. The fact that this damage reduction only gives on health is really annoying. Like, only for health is like, come on, dude. If this was just 90% DR that you could use like for everything, it'd actually be quite good. But there's also the problem of health tank builds. Like, do you want to subsume an ability purely for 90% DR? And I know the augment is a bit of a nuke, but that's only for low level stuff, and I think Thermal Sunder's better. It's not worthless though, and that's why I give it B tier. It's not completely pointless. There are some cases that I'd say, yeah, you could use Null Star and that'll be all right. But besides that, it's excellent for Nova herself. I think that Nova needs to use shield gating. Okay, next up we have Nyx. So she gives mind control, and mind control fucking blows. Damage buff with augment. Let's not act like this is good. Did I do my research? I'm sorry, y'all. Mind control is a good subsume for Revenant. What does Revenant need it for, though? I'm thinking D tier. I'm thinking D tier. What does Rev need this for? Good CC. It's great for liches. Mind control would be cool if it was better. You could say that about literally everything. It's fun for infinite thrall, I guess. And it's invincible. Yeah, I know that, but like, come on. Good armor strip. That's psychic bolts. D tier. This one sucks. I'm not even gonna like BS about it. It sucks. Oberon gives smite. I don't know exactly how good this is as like a rip-off breach surge, but I know it has an augment that gives him radiation damage, and it gives him a lot of it. So, chat, you're gonna have to do a little bit of help here. Is smite good? Its augment is shock trooper way better. I thought so. Everything is a new because it was easy to get. B to A. I'm thinking probably B tier for this. Augment good for mirror defense. Yeah, the radiation seems quite strong for what is it? Eidolon's quite good. Radiation is also really good against those higher level Grenier units. And then I don't know how the damage spreading stuff works. I've literally never touched Oberon. Got some good use. Okay, so from what all you guys are saying, I'm gonna go high B tier. It, like, compared to the things in A, no competition. But as a B tier, I think it'll sit there. I might bump it down to C depending on how I compare it to everything else, because I kind of forgot what everything else I put in. But yeah, so I think this is a solid B tier. Octavia. Okay, so Octavia gives Resonator. Resonator is actually pretty good crowd control. This is really good crowd control. Resonator does Gloom but better. Yeah, this basically just turns enemy AI off. Like it just turns them off. I personally have very limited experience using this. I've never subsumed it, and I don't play Octavia. So I honestly cannot tell you if this is better than Ensnare in terms of should Resonator be S. I'm thinking it's just A. Resonator is Mallet but on wheels. Well, Mallet's the thing that does the damage. It's solid, and I could see you wanting to use it in a lot of different places, but I think it's A tier. Doesn't work on Acolytes, which is a massive draw of Ensnare. And also, you need, it like kind of just goes random places, right? I know you can use the augment to direct it, but Ensnare doesn't need an augment. So I'm thinking just A tier. And I think that that's a fair rating. Nope. Octavia started going off. Okay, next we have Protea. Protea gives Dispensary. Now, Dispensary is one of the only ways to get infinite ammo for your arc gun. It gives empowered health orbs, with which Equilibrium gives you quite a lot of. I'm gonna have to not have you do that, Protea. Now, right now, this one gets invalidated because Nourish exists, and that's quite annoying. Nourish is not stationary, while this one is very stationary. And this had some weird drop mechanics where like it won't just continue to spit it out. You have to pick up the stuff or whatever, I think. Too godly. I think the stationary, it being stationary is what kills this. It's also quite expensive, which isn't really that big of an issue. And the duration is okay. As if Nourish didn't exist, but has a heal. I mean, can we not act like healing is like this godly thing to be able to have? Healing is so Nourish doesn't heal. Yeah, but Nourish not healing doesn't like circumvent the ammo nerfs. That is true. Dispensary is almost required for certain weapon platform gun builds. I've never subsumed Dispensary, and I feel perfectly fine just running ammo mutation. Dispensary can trump Nourish regarding the frame. I think that that's not true. I don't think so. I think it's high A tier. It would be S tier if Nourish didn't exist. And maybe if it followed you, maybe that'd be too broken. But I have to give it A. Good with Equilibrium. That's quite literally what you have to have on if you're using this energy-wise. I think it's an A tier. Very high A tier. Close to being S, but just a very, very high and solid A. I'm not doing like plus or minuses, but this would be A++ if I could do that. Revenant gives Reeve correctly, or correct? And yeah, this doesn't get diminished by Helminth at all, right? I think your ratings are off. There are things in S that are in their own league. Well, A tier is for things that are good and I think are balanced. S tier is for things that are good, like they invalidate using everything else. In my opinion, Nourish should be above that, but I'm not going to create like an S tier. The actual value is 8% at base. Okay. I don't really know what the point of using this would be. On Revenant himself, it's Terrify doesn't invalidate Pillage or Thoros. Terrify is a quick cast, great shield gate, no line of sight, low strength, high range armor strip. Pillage is also S tier. And I'm gonna put Thorough Strike in S tier as well. They're like they're very equal for different things. Well, we'll get it when we come to it. Can't do much damage without high strength. Reeve is my Revenant mobility tool. On Revenant himself, yes, sure. In terms of Helminth, I can't really. Can my chair stop creaking, bro? I need to get a new chair. I've never seen someone subsume this. I haven't. And I don't think I ever will. C tier. Okay, next up is Saren. Saren gives Malt. Now, Malt is quite literally... it's a very odd subsume. Because the only reason you'd ever put this on someone else is for shield gating purposes. Because it is an instant cast. Like, there's no delay. And it's good for shield gating. But besides that... it gives status cleanse and a speed multiplier and a decoy. That's kind of lame. Toxic Lash would have been a way better Helminth. If Toxic Lash was a Helminth, it would be the S of S tiers. Toxic Lash is broken. It should not go on other frames. It should not go on other frames. Oh my god, that'd be insane. Yeah, this is easily... I personally prefer to subsume off her fourth because It's here, and it is really good survivability. Like it is. Nah, it would be interesting though, not forcing to play Terran for Toxic Lash. It should not be on anybody else. Regardless, B tier, Status Cleanse, instant shield gate, and it has a bit of crowd control. B tier. Okay, all right. Gloom. So Gloom, when I first joined, at least, was the first ability I put into my Helminth because everyone swore that this ability was just so strong. And the problem is that it is. Like, it quite literally. But the difficult part is that we don't know if it's S tier. It's good, but there are a lot of things that I would rather use over Gloom. Energy, okay, yeah. So energy upkeep is hard. The slow requires 270 strength. And the health steal is good for health tank frames. But I don't know. Crowd control and life steal. It's just boring. I mean, I'm not even trying to talk about boring because this is just objectively a what's the best. And this is a tough one. Slow works on acolytes. Yeah, and that's great. Eclipse is A. Yeah, I think Eclipse is A. The gimmick kind of ruins it. Overguard killed S Gloom since you heal. True. I'm giving it A. I think it's really good, but with the current meta, there are just so many better options. The slow, like, if you want to slow, run Terrify, run the Augment. Kill enemies way easier. You can use Terrify for shield gating, and you get a slow. It's really good for people who suck at the game. It's really good for people who suck at the game. I'll tell you that. Nope, not here. It's a very high A. Okay, Styanax. That's ugly. We'll just hit the base one. Thorough Strike. Thorough Strike is an armor and shield strip, and it also gives you health back when you hit enemies. This is really good because you can use it with Archon Intensify to heal and get 60% strength. It requires 200% strength to be able to full strip in one cast. Only negative is that it has low range. It has a quick cast time and it goes through enemies quite easily. S tier. Tharos, Pillage, and Terrify are the de facto. You need an armor strip, you're using one of those three. Titania gives Spellbind. Is Gloom or Shooting Gallery better for CC? Shooting Gallery, 100%. Okay, Spellbind. Yeah, this crowd control sucks. And the status immunity is meh. Status immunity is not that useful when Rolling Guard exists. Augment gives energy. I guess it gives, yeah, I mean, I guess, but is that any, does that make it worth going higher than C tier? I think it's C tier. Good, but otherwise, yeah, I'm just always says immunity used to be important. It's B. I don't know, man. The crowd control here, I would not rate it anywhere near even Gyre's one. B sounds better. It's a general C. I'm putting it in C. D, it's not D tier. It's not as bad as the things in D tier. It gives you energy with the augment. It's a status immunity, which is not great, but it is something, and it is crowd control. Tiny ass radius, but it's C. Low C. This seems quite useless. Trinity's augment with equilibrium. It's bad. Well of energy, well of life. Yeah, you don't need health like this. Wisp gives health way better. Allies are immune to status effects. Like Rolling Guard is a thing. Pillage is a thing, and Pillage gives over shields for everyone. useless. I'm gonna have to go with D tier. I can like this is what you subsume off on Trinity herself, correct? She's yeah, this seems like a very easy D tier. I can't justify even using this on Trinity herself. Okay, Valkyr. Valkyr gives Warcry. Warcry might honestly be one of the best besides Hysteria, but even then Hysteria isn't really that great because its stance is terrible. You need to spam slide attacks. Warcry gives attack speed and armor increase and speed decrease. This is quite fun on Baruuk because attack speed is his limit to his KPS. B tier, 100%. I agree with B tier. I don't use this much. The reason I don't use this much is because other melee frames like Gauss give attack speed like a crazy amount. You can get a lot of attack speed through Arcane Strike and just on melees themselves. But it's B tier. I don't hate it. I want to see how fast it can go. Yeah, for like raw melee builds, Warcry, is there a speed cap? I don't think so. Warcry is quite good. B tier. It's just solid. It's all right. It's nothing crazy. Replaced attack speed on your melees. Yeah. Vauban. Okay, so Vauban is actually, you know what? Not too bad. I don't necessarily think it makes it worth using it like over a lot of other things, but it does put it into C tier. Electricity is not a good proc, and the crowd control here is just not that great relative to other stuff. The augment needs armor ship to kill though. True. I think it's a C tier. It's quite a basic C tier. Still something I've never seen anybody subsume. It's not as I don't know actually. The shit that I have in D tier, but it moves so it's better. Actually, that's a good argument. C tier, C tier. Vault. Okay, Vault gives his first ability, and his first ability is Shock on its own. This is worthless at anything higher than like level 10. It's the augment that I think would make this worth using. Shock Trooper, not too terrible. I think it just gets a C. It's not great. I think a C is fine. The ability itself, like the shock portion, what are you using that for? And then with the augment, high C, maybe B, but I'm not putting it up in B. I'm just not putting it up in B. Getting close to the end here. Next up, we have Varuna. Okay, this is a base Varuna Void Shell. Varuna gives Lycast Hunt. Now, the only place that I use Lycast is on Cora because it is quite literally so good on her. But this also doubles as health and energy. Now, this is great for melee frames that are spamming a lot of shit. A for Cora. I'm not gonna rank it A purely because it's really good on one frame. I think B is fine. Can work for Baruuk. Baruuk doesn't have energy issues though. It's kind of mid and everyone else is not melee. Yeah, so to get, I mean, you should be using this with Equilibrium, but headshots will also drop energy orbs, and that's all right. Again, as a subsume, it's quite niche, especially because, again, Nourish exists, and also because energy economy wise, I don't know if you really need this because a lot of melee frames don't have energy problems. Like, so does it work for the Atlas Rumblers? Absolutely no clue. With Archoplasm more seemingly guaranteed energy, that's true. That is true. I think it's B. It's solid. There are some places that you could use this, specifically Cora. Go watch that video if you haven't. It's absolutely insane. But yeah, B. Okay, Wisp. Breach Surge. Goddamn, dude. This one, yeah. This might be S. You get a very easy shield gate. You get a really, really wide range crowd control. And you get a lot of damage. I thought they nerfed it. They didn't nerf it for pretty much any normal player. They just nerfed it so that you couldn't hit damage cap. But you don't need to hit damage cap to kill anything. This is quite literally one of the best abilities in the game, and for that reason, I'm giving it S. I don't use it very often, but I'm giving it S. In terms of like things that it even blinds XP units, yep. Wukong. Now, Wukong gives Defy. Defy gives you armor and invulnerability. Shield gate, like the armor, okay, it's all right. Defy can kill out like level cap. Okay, so it redirects damage towards enemies. With viral, that would kill. Okay. This is okay. It's all right. With the twin, you can double its damage, so maybe that would actually be nice for some nuking strats. But I don't understand why so many people love Wukong. Me either. He's the de facto best frame for spies and captures and rescues. But eh. It's okay. Damage scales for strength 2. Yeah. I don't see a place where you'd want to subsume this. B tier. Not upgrade. Zaku. Zada's Whisper is really good, especially with the Incarnans and that 2000% damage perk. Is that opera? No, it's lo-fi. It's just quite quiet. I don't know, maybe I'll add music in post. But I think Zada's though is I don't know if this is S tier. Roar? You don't really need to use Roar with them. Zaku is genderless. So they them. Because the armor strip and the fact that their guns stack with enemy level. Regardless. Are you also adding in the cost to get the frame in the tier list? No. Purely a perspective of how good the ability is. I'm giving it an A tier. I think that Roar is the best damage buff purely because it's a faction damage multiplier. And while Zada's does some very, very unique stuff, as a damage buff, it requires a little more. And I think high A tier is fair. I think this and Eclipse are on the same tier. I would say Zada's is better than Eclipse, but that's just me. Stop, there's Ureli. Ureli gets so much hate, and Ureli is quite good. Regardless, she gives Aqua Blades, and this is actually pretty solid. There are some funny builds on Limbo where you can use this to hit enemies through the rift. And it's this 4 is just better. Oh, okay. Really is amazing now. Yeah. The slash damage is insane. Yeah, and this procs slash, and that's good. It lasts for a long time. Remember right here, we're just looking at the rank 0 version. So it gets the stats go better than this. Can I say C? I think this is B tier. I've actually never played Ureli, mainly because I have an Wave Rider, but I know how her kit works. And I think this is just a solid B tier. For augment is good. Yeah, the augment is good too. And Zephyr gives air burst. Okay, so air burst is really quick, really fast, decent crowd control. It ragdolls enemies. It has some really weird damage scaling that you will never notice. Oh, my dog's probably shut up. But regardless, for multiple, so yeah, it has the augment, airburst rounds, and airburst rounds is a really, really strong secondary buff. Really fun to use it with the Latum. Yo, Corrupt, thank you for the 2, my guy. Appreciate it. Wisp is sex tier. Yo, thank you for the 2. Appreciate you, bro. Can you group people with it? What do you mean group people? Of course, it's a grouping ability. Look at what's happening. And you can also launch enemies away. I don't know why you'd ever want to do that, but yeah. This is A tier. It's full 360 degrees of range, which is different than pole. So you'll find it quite easy to use. It's quick. It's not great for single target weapons, but for AoE weapons, this is probably the best grouping ability. And then pole is the best for melees. Easy A tier. It's the best for glaive. It's very good for glaive. Very good for glaive. Okay, now, first, there is Empower. Not great. I don't know why you'd want to use this. An extra 50% strength that you need to use an ability for that only lasts for one ability cast is really fucking stupid. I genuinely do not know why anybody would want to use this. D or B? How? Amazing on Whisper Rhino. There's so much better stuff, and multi-augmented is a thing. F. I used it on Baruuk back in the day. Like, why? You can get more power strength from other sources. Yeah, Matarai, Xeneric. Like, only good for snapshots. Yeah, but there are so many better things you could use besides this. So many better things. I'm honestly inclined to give it an F. Like, I cannot genuinely see a reason. Like, name a frame that you think you should use this on, and I'll tell you a better helmet to put on them. That is just far better. This might be D or F. No, keep decoys the only F. Okay, so it's D. It's D. Yeah, Archon shards. Yeah, we really out here defending in power. Yeah, not at all. Energized munitions, on the other hand, is quite good. This is really fun on Gauss, okay? I like this one. I don't particularly use it that much, but 75% ammo efficiency ain't too bad. And with the ammo economy nerfs, I could see you wanting to use this. I'm power on Switchva. We would not make a defense for this. I don't think it's like that great. Not that any of these Helminth exclusives are that great. C tier. I think it's a solid C tier. Expedite Suffering. Okay, this one has some niche applications. I don't know, like, quite how strong it is. It's definitely very good. Like, it's definitely very good. You can use this on frames to get success. I think it's a B tier. Like, again, I think that there are better options, but it's a disruption only ability. Yeah, and the thing is, like, you could just fucking, I don't know why people use all this insane shit to kill demos when if you armor strip them, prime them, and shoot them with a fucking Bratten, they'll die. But yeah, B tier. And give me 1 second, everybody. Golden Instinct. This is, it's funny because for what this ability does, it's the only thing in the game that does this, if I'm not mistaken. And that actually makes it quite good. But D, I mean, it's not really D tier because it's okay. So it's a niche, but if you want to do this, it is the only thing in the game that does this. There's an air support thing that does something similar. In terms of needing to find stuff, it is the only thing in the game that does this, and for that, it's quite good. Not A tier, because this is not something you need to do, but B tier. Drifter's Hand does it? Well, that's, you can't fucking do that in normal Star Chart. This sucks. This is D tier. Why would you burn an ability slot for 50 energy on status immunity? There are quite literally other helmets here that do other things and give you status immunity. This sucks. Do not use this. D tier. Increase your parkour velocity. It's a quick cast. F. Rolling guard. Well, I'm not putting anything else in F tier. Okay, because here's the thing. This does do something. It just fucking sucks. Decoy does nothing, and that's why Decoy's down there. Anyways, Infested Mobility. Okay, so parkour velocity and sprint speed are good. They don't adjust your gameplay in quite literally any way, but in terms of fun. What's an F? Decoy, and only Decoy. In terms of fun, yeah. I can't, I just, like, this doesn't do anything that helps you kill shit. So I think I have to put it C tier. In terms of just an overall... No, I have to put this... I have to put this in D tier. I'm sorry, guys, but you have to understand that something that purely unsubbing... Oh, come on. 45-second Ucko runs? You can get those. You can get it down to 45 seconds without infested mobility. I'll fucking do it right now in like 50. I think it's D tier. This just doesn't provide anything that's like quite literally like genuinely useful. You have Firewalker. Yeah, Firewalker exists. Molt exists. And Molt is a speed multiplier, not a sprint speed multiplier. And that's better. Marked for Death. Oh wait, yeah, this is D tier. Marked for Death used to be really good, and then they nerfed the hell out of it. And it's actually still not too terrible. I want this guy 2035. I can't say that this is higher than C tier. It's okay. It's not that useful because they just gimp the hell out of it. I think C tier is fair. It's definitely not D tier, but right now to be much worse than it's supposed to. Well, that sucks. But I think regardless, it's just C tier. Yo, if I could put this in F tier, I'd fucking do it. This is... Wow. If you need to subsume, F tier it. I really want to put this in F tier because this genuinely does nothing. I use Master Summons on my activity to revive my down speedy Kavat. That is fucking pointless. Yeah, this sucks. Decoy doesn't do anything. This at least... This kind of does something though. And because fuck Loki, it's going in D tier. Parasitic Armor. This had one really cool use on Cora before the Lycast tech was discovered, and now it is quite literally pointless. Where do you want to use this? Like, tell me, where do you want to use this? How does it good use on Harrow? Why do you need to turn Harrow into armor when you cast Condemn and get a shield gate? Rhino? Oh, you know what? Yeah, Rhino, sure. For Iron Skin memes, purely for the Iron Skin memes, this gets C tier. Besides that, where do you want to use this? Nowhere. That's the answer. And Hildryn? Hildryn shield gates with Pillage. You don't need armor. People like this ability. I think it's fucking stupid. Like, I don't know why you'd want to use this. Seriously. Ciphers are a thing. Works in situations where ciphers don't. I don't know, man, but I also just I hate hacking so much. I think hacking is mad easy. Go to for Archon Spy. There's the Parazon mod that has a 50% chance to auto-complete them, and ciphers exist. Bro, just get good. I'm sorry, but I feel the same here. This is... Y'all can be mad at me. I think this is D tier. This is such a waste of an ability slot. Just learn to hack or use ciphers. Such a waste. Especially people like this on Wukong. Like, why would you use this on Wukong? 1 second, sorry. Why would you use this on Wukong when you can just use Molt and speed build? Why does he T-post after he casts? He doesn't T-pose. Oh, he kind of does. This is terrible. This is so stupid. Another thing that if I could put it in an F, I would. Why does this have a cooldown? Why would you give it a cooldown? I genuinely don't really understand. Like, and especially because the only use you'd have for this is to be able to shield gate with it. Why would you want to shield gate with this when you can just do it with like literally anything else? D tier, and only not F tier because fuck Loki. Thickening Pulse. This is B tier. I know decoy site. We're doing it for memes. But regardless, I think the Sickening Pulse Thickening Pulse? Jesus. Broken for Lavos? Okay. For Lavos, sure. D-Ship at best. Lavos Heat Nuke. I mean, are we really gonna say that Lavos is the reason that something should be, like, higher up? Would be cool, but it's whatever. Yeah. I think it has a really cool concept. Not that I can't say it's anything higher than C tier. It's faster than normal hacking. The speed bonus you get from Malt compared to the hacking one is far better. Lavos is underrated. I don't know, y'all. Disagree. I think Lavos is like the most mid-frame. Why use it? So D? It has some uses. Low C tier. Low C tier. Okay, so Voracious Metastasis. What a name. The only place you'd ever want to use this is Hildryn. And it makes Hildryn a really good support. More mid than Nyx. Well, I guess you're kind of right. All right, it might be D tier. It might be D tier, y'all. I'm sorry, but it might be D tier. And Garuda. Okay, Garuda too. This is great on Garuda. Okay, so it's great on Hildryn and Garuda. But yeah, here's the thing. Useless if you're not playing with a squad. I play solo most times because I can't stand to deal with other people being dumb. And Trinity 2.0, yeah, it's funny. This is a better Trinity ability than her entire kit. It's kind of invalidated by Nourish though. That's everything in the entire game. That was everything. That took us about an hour and 45 minutes. A little bit longer. Oh, what the fuck? Wait, what? How have I never known this? I'm Kai 69? What? Chat, this is hype as hell.